Hello to everyone rooting for Africa. This is Roots and Roads Africa, your open door to the beauty, culture, and journeys that define the continent. Today on Travel Hacks, we're tackling one of the biggest frustrations for travelers exploring Africa. If you've ever searched for flights across Africa and wondered why the prices seem so high, you're not alone. Why can it sometimes cost less to fly from Nairobi to London than from Nairobi to Dakar? In this episode, we are uncovering the hidden hubs, smarter routing strategies, and booking tricks that experienced travelers use to save hundreds of dollars on flights across the continent. Many travelers assume Africa is expensive to travel because of the distances involved. But distance isn't always the problem. The bigger challenge is connectivity. Many African countries still have limited direct air links with one another. Add airport taxes, restricted air services agreements, and limited competition on certain routes, and suddenly flying across Africa becomes surprisingly expensive. At Roots and Roads Africa, we believe one of the biggest barriers to exploring the continent is not distance, it's access. Too often, travelers only see the routes and prices presented by major booking engines. Yet, beyond the obvious flight paths lies a network of regional airlines, secondary hubs, and creative routing options that can unlock entire regions for a fraction of the cost. Fortunately, there are ways around it. Let's start with one of the most effective. The first hack is simple. Stop relying only on major airline hubs. Most booking engines automatically route travelers through airports like Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Johannesburg, or Cairo. They are excellent hubs, but they aren't always the cheapest. Instead, look at secondary hubs. Take Lomé in Togo. Sky Airlines has quietly built one of the most useful route networks in West and Central Africa. Instead of searching for direct route from Nairobi to Dakar, try checking Nairobi to Lomé, then Lomé to Dakar. You may discover an entirely different pricing structure. Because Lomé functions as a regional connector rather than a dominant global hub, fares can sometimes be significantly lower. Another hub worth considering is Lagos. Airpace has rapidly expanded across West Africa, connecting cities such as Accra, Freetown, Monrovia, Abidjan, and Dakar. The lesson here is simple. Don't just search for your destination. Search for the hubs that connect to your destination. A small routing change could save you hundreds of dollars. The next mistake many travelers make is searching only for traditional return tickets. Sometimes it's the most expensive option available. Instead, experiment with multi-city and open-jaw searches. An open-jaw itinerary simply means flying into one city and returning from another. For example, you could fly from Johannesburg to Nairobi, travel overland through East Africa, then fly home from Kigali. Instead of backtracking, you're moving forward through a region, and often saving money at the same time. Multi-city searches can also reveal opportunities that standard booking engines miss. A route such as Johannesburg to Nairobi followed by Nairobi to Cairo may cost less when booked as separate segments rather than one combined itinerary. Airline pricing isn't always logical. That's why it pays to experiment. However, there's an important warning. If you're booking separate tickets, always leave plenty of time between flights. At least 4 to 6 hours. Even better, turn the connection into an overnight stop. If your first flight is delayed and causes you to miss the second, the onward airline is generally not responsible for rebooking you. A long layover may seem inconvenient, but it can also become an unexpected mini-adventure. Another way to save money is understanding Africa's regional airline networks. One of the biggest travel mistakes people make is relying only on international booking websites. In Southern Africa, airlines such as FlySafair, Lyft, Airlink, and FastJet often provide excellent value for regional travel. In West Africa, travelers should keep an eye on JumboJet, Uganda Airlines, Precision Air, Renegade Air, and SafariLink. Some of these carriers connect destinations that would otherwise require long road journeys. In West Africa, Airpeace, Sky Airlines, and Ibom Air can be powerful tools for navigating the region without paying premium fares. And here's an important tip. Always compare prices on the airline's own website. Sometimes the fare displayed on a booking platform is higher than the fare available directly from the carrier. Now, for the most controversial travel hack. And no, it won't work for everyone. Sometimes it's cheaper to leave Africa before coming back into Africa. It sounds absurd, but heavily trafficked Europe-Africa routes occasionally create opportunities. A traveler moving between North Africa and West Africa may discover lower fares by routing through cities such as Madrid, Lisbon, or Marseille. In some cases, flying from Casablanca to Madrid then onward to Dakar can cost less than a direct flight. But there's a catch. Always calculate the total cost, add baggage fees, add airport transfers, check transit visa requirements, factor in meals, accommodation, and extra travel time. Sometimes it's a bargain, sometimes it isn't. The goal isn't to force a complicated route. The goal is to know your options. Africa remains one of the most rewarding continents to explore, but it often rewards travelers who think creatively about how they move between destinations. A few extra minutes spent researching routes can save hundreds of dollars, and those savings can become an extra night in a new city, a guided casual tour, a national park visit, or an unexpected destination that wasn't originally part of your journey. The more you understand Africa's routes, hubs, and regional networks, the more destinations become accessible. And here is today's Routes and Roads travel hack. The cheapest route is not always the route that appears first in a search engine. Before booking any flight across Africa, spend an extra 15 minutes testing secondary hubs, multi-city searches, and regional airlines. Those few minutes can save hundreds of dollars and sometimes reveal destinations you never planned to visit. Have you discovered a flight hack that saved you money while traveling across Africa? Share it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your tips and experiences. And if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Roots and Roads Africa for more travel hacks, destination guides, cultural stories, and practical advice for exploring the continent. This is Roots and Roads Africa, exploring Africa through the roads we take, the cultures we carry, and the connections we make. Until next time, travel deeper, travel smarter, and explore more of Africa.